actually know. So then that's where we have to have doubt. We can't be looking at it and being like 100% sure about really anything. How could you possibly be 100% sure about anything? You know what I'm saying? There has to
bro.
be
I
some
gotta,
doubt.
I gotta,
God,
I got.
you think that God is above doing petty things?
Bro, there's a difference.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? Remember, we want you to be an activist. Don't take our word for it. Look that mess up, please. Thank you, God, for this day we have lived,
Please.
everything in our life, our health, our family, the guidance you have given us. Allow us guidance to the path of righteousness with no sway towards the evils of our lower selves. Amen. I'm in Ra. What's up, Pat? What's
Amen.
up, Bruce?
What's up?
Well, what's
What's up?
going on?
How y'all feel, man?
Pretty
Man,
good, pretty good.
I don't
All
know.
right.
What you was gonna say, Pat? You say you don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just had a little meeting with the chief, and you know s- things don't sound too good. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about
Yeah. 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 Every day, man, we living in the now, and we, pay attention to what's happening. And, the thing is, that's the reason why I ask about how you feel, because the thing is, I think that's one of the things that kind of make us human, right? I've been watching that show Westworld, and it's like, what makes you human? Having these emotions. So sometimes you feel good, sometimes you don't. And even
that.
you have to be honest with yourselves, because like when you go to work or whatever, you're supposed to always have a good attitude and smile and pretend that everything is fine at home. But it's kind
But
of
you don't.
like, go ahead.
Yeah, but no, I was just no, I didn't want to like interrupt you like that. But I'm just saying, but we don't.
Yeah,
We don't always feel good. We don't
right.
all, you know what I'm saying?
And if
It's,
you're in a prison, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like it's like your little defiances when you're in a prison. You're in a prison, you have to do what they tell you to do, and then you just do little defiances on the edges of it because you're in prison. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you're in a prison and you know it really kind of sucks and you really kind of feel bad, but you're not supposed to look like that. You're not supposed to portray that. The powers that be want to, you know, they don't. You're making them uncomfortable when you. It's like if you was a slave, right? And you're doing the work for your slave masters or whatever, you're getting borrowed. They've rented a lot of slaves. That's one of the ways small time people made money. People that had fewer slaves, they would rent them out, and for jobs. And, that's how they would make money. So that slave goes over there and does that work. And if they was to appear like they don't want to do it or whatever, that they're not happy to do the work, then there would be a problem.
yeah.
Y'all get what I'm saying?
No, I
Um,
feel you.
the name of the
Well,
show is. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, for me, I kind of feel like sometimes I'm wondering what side of me should I be tapping into? Because like, of course, we have our physical, our we all of course are emotional. We have our spiritual. So I mean, it's like of course, like sometimes you gotta try to even though we're in a physical being, how to just leave that part behind and totally just kind of encapsulate or try to utilize the spiritual side to I guess uplift the powers, like to I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. I mean, I guess somebody who's studies metaphysics could
No,
maybe relate a little more.
I hear you. I hear you. And so but then if you are embracing like your spiritual self, like sometimes even when you're embracing your spiritual self, you kind of got to embrace your lower nature at the same time. What I mean is everything that you do can't always be perceived as good. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to explain it. If you're on a higher plane, then your view, your perspective of good versus evil is not going to be the same as you are if you're on this lower plane.
Yeah.
Hi, fellas.
What's good, man?
I don't know if you can see me, dude. I bought this new little device. Well,
Yeah, I can see you.
I've had a bad streak of appearances, so I've been pretty afraid.
And you sound good this time, so the sound is important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What
Um.
What'd you see about it, B?
Yeah.
What's up, boss? What's
That's
up,
Not
Pat?
good.
much, man.
It's good to hear from you, bro. You know. Today we'll be talking about like spiritual stuff because that's kind of what I'm on. The name of the show today is "The Gods Are Bored."
Ah,
I don't think so. That must. The gods are busy. I don't
ah.
think they're bored. But okay, I'm in. I'll play this game.
I actually, if they're putting like a normal, mate, like what we consider normalcy, where they don't have powers and shit, then they probably are bored.
It's an interesting thing to think about. Like my head is all in that show Westworld, so a lot of this is kind of coming from that. But there's a line in that show where the lady is like, um, they thought that the humans thought that it was all about them, and when the gods was coming down and like doing the things that they were doing, like it was to test them or whatever. And she's like, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just the gods were bored, like they just wanted something to do, come down and have sex with the people.
I would.
Well,
Damn.
I don't know if I'm capable of seeing that point of view.
I mean, are you talking about the Book of Enoch?
I mean, you could throw that in there. That's fine. They were. I was talking about the show Westworld, but I'm sure they were inspired by stuff like the Book of Enoch for that line that I just said.
Yeah, yeah, bro. It's a wild concept, but I don't think I could resist a pretty girl like, you know.
And I think that we have to understand that motivations would be, like I be saying, whenever stuff happen, a lot of times it's for really petty reasons. People be thinking that it's all super complex, but at the end of the day, it 9 times, 8 times out of 10, it's not. It was something really, really petty, you know. And it's like
Yeah.
we're created in God's image, and I think God has a sense of humor. We were talking about this animal who has both sex organs, and then they give birth through their like penis, and it kills them during
Shit.
birth. And it's like, we have
Ouch.
all these different animals. We're supposed to learn from nature. You know what I'm saying? From the plants, the insects, everything. So then, what is something like that telling us? That's the thing. You think about that. God has a sense of humor, is what I get from it. You know, or a morbid sense of humor.
Oh, that's even
What do y'all
worse.
think? What do y'all think?
um, well, I think that he has all the emotions you do. He or she or it or they. I mean,
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. So any little petty stuff, you think the gods are above doing, or let's say God, you think that God is above doing petty things?
their egos are so big, you have no idea. The ego of a god, that's why they're like, oh, man's ego. We're just going to fucking devour that.
I mean, because you know, if we're gonna I play with the idea of God and ego and things like that. I mean, we have to more so look. I would have to see God more so as you or me, or you know, him in a physical state. I mean, he's the all in the one, but of course he exists everywhere and in
Yeah.
everything. So, I mean, looking at it from that perspective, yeah, he's very damn uh egotistical. Um,
I
you
was
know,
actually not. I wasn't referring to the Most High though. I gotta say that because he's supposed to be like sinless and pure and stuff.
He's
Like
all. I mean, he
I'm sure his
exists.
ego is
I
no
mean,
good, but
Yeah, but if God is everything, this is what the argument I make all the time because I talk to
but
religious people.
God's probably. I
he's
think we
everywhere
fucked up, bro.
and in everything.
So if God is
We
there,
fucked
because
up. I think we made God, bro. It's a paradox.
well, that's a question. Let's put that to the side. But when I talk to religious people and I ask them, "Is God everything?" and they'd be like, "Yeah." Well, then that means God is good and evil, and they're like, "No, no, no. God is only good." Well, how can that be? How can both be true?
Josh,
I think there's
no.
three
I mean,
gods, bro,
no.
that
Look,
happen. The OG, which kind of died, his son, and then now the new God that's coming about.
Mm. What you was gonna say, Pat?
hold on. Well, he kind of threw me off on that.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead. That's why I don't want to
well,
make a comment. Let's not go
well,
in that
well, no.
direction.
The
Go
see,
ahead.
the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned, like I mean, anything in natural law, which God would definitely have to fall in, under, and around, and within, or and without, whatever, from every aspect.
Full, fire and brimstone
Yeah,
and the
the
flood and all
Almighty wrath.
this.
Yeah, bro, because he's got the human in him. That's why they want to make a new God that's tech.
Or him in the human. See, that's the thing that I guess you know it's important to determine the difference, because I don't think that you know a human is God, but God can be human, or at least exists within. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like it's
it's it's like a never-ending butterfly that just keeps hatching.
well, but then again, I guess God is human in that aspect. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's really, I
It's
don't know.
complex
It's hard
and
to
it's hard
explain. I know.
and it's
Yeah.
it's hard for us to understand because outside of our like we can only see so much with our little five senses that we have. Our perspective is extremely limited. That's the thing that we have to keep reminding ourselves. How can we
Six
possibly
senses.
even how could we possibly even begin to understand God's motivations or whatever, like from our perspective down here on the fourth dimension. But like Pat was saying earlier, we could try to tap into our other selves, you know what I mean? Our spiritual selves, our infinite selves, because we also talk about
Mm.
time, right? How time is just an infinite now, right? So then, that's the whole thing about like living forever. Maybe there's no point in living forever because now it's infinite anyway. So we already are forever.
Yeah.
Bro,
I mean,
the whole time thing.
we're the past, present, and future all at one time.
Yeah, bro, I really think the spirit. Well, actually, for me, like I don't know. It's just become a thing. My spirit travels time, bro. Like if I do something in the past, I will try time travel back, and my spirit will like use the force to stop myself from doing it. Like I accidentally strike down somebody that I thought was an opponent or whatever. You know what I mean? I got to go back and make sure I don't do that.
Well, I think our spirit exists outside of time, anyways, right? So then,
Mm-hmm.
like, so
So
and then Einstein said there wasn't no such thing as time, really, anyways.
I
It's
was
it's
just about to
space
say that
time.
time. See, that's more of what we created. I don't think that we created God and all. Like how they say. I mean, because I guess the expression of it, or whatever how to identify the differences, but because I mean I think it's all the one, the universe of God, the whatever. But the point I was trying to get to was, um, and I had to come back to it because for whatever reason, my mind is too many thoughts going on at one time.
It's all
That
good, man.
means
What what
that
That's
what
that's
what
how
what
I feel.
what was the last thing that you said? Because it'll come back to me.
time. I said that time, our spirit
Yes,
exists outside of time.
yeah. The time does not really exist. I mean, we found a way to calculate it, but there's no way to make it all collapse into you know
You gotta be
you
you
know,
gotta be omnipresent.
well,
You
Yeah.
gotta be you gotta be omnipresent, and
no,
then
I'm
time
just saying,
then
like, I
time
mean,
doesn't matter.
either we're just not smart enough to truly come up with the exact time. 'Cause, I mean, we still have to come up with leap days and this, that, and the other. So, um, it's
And
just not. It
and
just
let me
go
throw
go
a
ahead.
curveball. What year is it? Like what year is it? Like
Oh,
how
dude,
long has time
fucking,
been
I don't
going?
know.
Like you know what I'm saying? And then like the idea of the prison. I'm thinking about the show Westworld and like if the robots take over and then they turn the humans into like, you know, the
Oh
robots.
shit,
And the robots are controlling the humans and they got them on pre
dog.
prescribed timelines. They got the
I just
people on
fucking grilled my whole family about, dude, are you guys chipped and from the future? Like, you don't feel like my family anymore.
because
Like, I
how
got
would we
scared,
know?
bro.
What if we already in the future? You see how like technology moves so fast, right? We got these algorithms. What if it's already happened? It's already happened. The robots have already taken over. We don't know it because we're mentally in the past.
Well, listen. Let's give this a go because all right, with the corona flares, the all of the information that's transmitting through the sun. I mean, that's one of the way that's like the main way that we would detect time is through you know, how the the sun, you know, our us seeing the sun, you know, and you know, day, night, whatever, blah blah blah. But when we see in the sun now, like right now, like the days are going so fast, the information that it is exerting, you know, transmitting is vast. So how can we even like how should we determine time during a period like this? Because it's like, you know, either days are longer on some days and it seems shorter on others.
Yeah, they just came out and said we had the shortest day of the year the other day. They said the Earth sped up a bit.
That's not
Yes.
good. That's due to a rotation of alignment.
But and what I was saying was it may be good. It may have a result of us as humans. You know what I'm saying? Everything is connected. If we're speeding up like in our evolution, like our you know our growth, if you will, you know, and then we're all like connecting around the world like mentally, then I could see that having an effect on the actual spin of the Earth. Call me crazy.
Well, from what I,
Um,
you know, I've heard, I mean, of course, I don't have the proof for any of this, but as far as you know, the pole shifts, the reason why that we're seeing, you know,
uh,
the
that
you know
scares me.
the change of temperatures on our alignment belt is because of that those pole shifts. Um, Somebody said it snowed in Chile about a month or two ago.
Yeah.
Like this is August, so in June, there was
It
snow
did
in
in
Chile.
it did in
Alaska was
Germany.
on
It did in
fire.
Germany. It snowed in Frankfurt, Germany, on July 25th, 2022. They had a complete blizzard that hit.
Damn.
Well, see, but see, I think for Germany is it? I don't know. Maybe it's not as weird because like it's usually a cold climate anyway. I'm saying like places where it's usually cold or cool is now hot, and other places where it is usually hot, you know, like or
That could be just climate change, but it makes me think about the Revelations because there's something in Revelations where they're like it'll rain when it's the sun will shine when it's not, or it'll snow when it's supposed to be hot and like something like that. I'm saying it wrong, but it's basically
Bro,
saying things are backwards. Things are happening that don't normally happen. Like
dude,
odd.
I used to live in apocalypse every day, bro. I
It's
fucking
like
I mentally duplicated the Earth, and I think it might have worked because
What
I
you gonna
haven't
say,
been.
Deuce?
No, I
Go
was
ahead,
just
dude.
saying, like, I was just saying, and this may be off topic, but like having this conversation, it really makes me think about what's going on in our world today, and and you think about the last books of the Bible leading up to the last days, and it feels like the human beings that are in control are trying to some way somehow fulfill the Bible,
Right.
like
Dude,
with the shit that
that
they're
what they're
doing.
doing is
Like
they're
if
staging
you
it.
think about, like, you think about everything that's going on, and the world ended in fire, like, think about that shit, the
And
Well,
famine
they don't have any. They don't
that
have
we
any
are.
control.
they
Well, yeah,
don't.
they don't
And that's what I
have any control over the sun,
and that's what I was
and
gonna say,
No,
Pat. That it would be an illusion, and I think that's what they're trying to do. Like
I think it's
the
the illusion, bro. I know the word for it, but I'm afraid to tell you
I
guys
mean,
because I don't want to get killed.
I don't
Like
believe that
for real.
they may not have control over the sun,
They
or
got control
anything
over the
like that,
weather though, hard,
but they got weather control. You know what I'm
hard.
saying?
and
They have ways of making things shift. Like they have, it's on the record that they've been caught playing around with the tectonic plates, of the earth.
all kinds of
And
shit. I think that some of those
yeah,
earthquakes are not real. Some other stuff that has happened is not real because they have to. But back to the revelation. The a revelation is an awakening really. So and then but meanwhile, I think that what they're gonna do is because everybody believes in like the rapture and stuff like that and the end of the world. A lot of people believe in this. So then if they can make an illusion big enough to seem like this is happening, these people are gonna actually believe it to be true, and that will be like the rapture, because
well,
these people that actually believe it are gonna be sucked into this thing that's not real.
well,
Huge mass
I think.
illusion.
Well, I think that because a lot of people in the
I
last few
unmanifest it.
years have pulled away from religion and have more attached themselves to natural, like you're looking at universe, the planets, and this, that, and the other for their you know spiritual followings. I think that that plan fell off because I mean, showing somebody, like because there was talks about how at some point they would try to pull up a hologram of Jesus and like his return and blah
Yup,
blah
it's
blah.
holograms, bro. They got
Uh, uh,
physical
uh,
holograms that like are like you can touch it.
Yeah, those
yeah,
technologies have come a long way. Go ahead, Pat.
yeah.
It's
So
from the future.
I don't think that you know that is the plan anymore. Like the main thing, like I think they do want to try to create
Shut
plagues.
shut that shit down. Shut every fucking plan down. I don't accept any apocalypse for all time from here on out. It's fucking weak.
Amen.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to happen. It can't happen. And then Revelation is just the awakening, is what it is. And I think that how it works in the movies, like how the villain, is trying to accomplish something, and his accomplishment ends up being what helps the
Like
people
a
who are
blessing in
fighting,
disguise.
the revolution. They end up bringing it upon. They end up inadvertently triggering it to happen like faster. You get what I'm saying? Like they're the one of the main agents in bringing it about, even though they're trying to do something totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The Bible say they don't know what they do, and man, that line comes to my head all the time, all the time. They don't know what
Puff
they do.
Daddy tell me
They
that
know
all the time.
they know not what they do.
Yeah.
P Diddy, Puff Daddy back then.
So they bring about the very thing that they're trying to fight against with their actions. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing what time it is. Yeah. Just woke up. Mad interesting to me. I was about to go to sleep and this just woke me up. And let's say the robots have already taken control. I was thinking about the algorithm.